Hello, everyone. Welcome to Diego Knows. I am Diego. And today we're going to review another episode of Sex and the City, the original show, the original one from the 90s and early 2000s, back when the show was good. I'm Diego, and I've watched every single episode of the show and both movies, and I just finished watching that piece of shit show, and Just Like That. I already did reviews on that one if you want to watch it. But so far, I've been having a lot of fun with this stuff. I was never really Sex and the City wasn't really my thing. I kind of stumbled upon this show because a lot of the girls that I worked with at the time, they were all watching it, they were talking about it, so I figured I'd give it a shot. None of my guy friends were watching the show, so they didn't know what the hell was going on. So I watched it. I was like, I got hooked. It got me a good perspective on females, and dating, how they react to dating, different types of guys and stuff. So I thought the show was pretty well done. It's pretty well written. The biggest problem I had, the only problem I had with the show, really, was the way they were portraying straight guys. I didn't like the way that a lot of the straight guys were being portrayed on the show. They weren't very realistic. They didn't act the way guys I knew acted. And straight guys that I knew acted. They surely didn't act the way I acted. Every once in a while they got it right, though. Every once in a while they got it right. But for the most part, they got it wrong. But nobody would ever call out the show on their bullshit. The writers on it, I remember like girls that I would talk to, especially like young girls, like girls that were like 13 or 14 that were watching this show. They thought guys really acted that way. They thought that's what was in front of them when they got older. I was like, no, this is bullshit. This is not what happens. This is not realistic. Okay, guys do not do this stuff. Okay, they might do that stuff in real life, but they won't do it the way it's shown on the show. Okay, I understand it's a dramedy. You got to make people laugh, so they got to exaggerate certain things like they do on sitcoms. But that doesn't change the fact that that it's the guys that end up having to suffer for this, and not the women. Okay, so if you want to have fun with the show, that's fine, but don't always have the straight guy be the butt of every joke. Okay, because that's kind of how the show portrays straight guys. Is we're all just a bunch of idiots. We're all horny and stupid, and we don't realize things. Okay, like we don't realize that we have a small penis. We don't realize that we're being assholes. We don't realize that girls are uncomfortable. We don't it's just crap. But anyway, the show was based on that. That was the foundation of the show, at least for the first couple of seasons. So that's where we are right now. Season 2 just started, and we're in episode 2 now of season 2, and the episode is called "The Awful Truth." Okay, so basically, what it's about, the thesis is: are there still certain things in a relationship that one should not say? So what can or can you not say in a relationship? That's the thesis of this episode, all right? So it starts off with Carrie's talking to one of her friends. Her friend's named Susan. She's this older, middle-aged lady, and Jewish lady. She sounds Jewish, got the Jewish accent down, okay? And she's very good friends with Carrie. They've been friends for many, many years. In fact, she's such good friends with Carrie that we will never see her again, ever again in any more episodes. This is the only episode where we see how close and tight her and Carrie are. All right. Well, anyway, apparently the reason that Carrie doesn't hang out with her anymore is because she got married. She married some guy named Richard, and they moved in together or whatever, so she doesn't hang out with Carrie anymore. All right. And apparently Richard's a big asshole. That's what we hear. So Carrie and Susan are out and about, and Carrie's birthday's coming up. So Susan got her a early birthday present. So they go to her apartment, which is really nice. And she tells Carrie, "Hey, shh, be quiet. Richard's sleeping. He's asleep." So they go in the living room and she gives her the present. It's the cashmere scarf. Yeah, I don't know shit about women's fashions. Okay, this is a straight man's point of view. Okay, I don't know shit about fashion. Okay, all I know is what they fucking say on here. Okay, I don't even know the shit that I got in my closet. Again, I got some expensive shit in there, and I don't even know what all of it is. Okay, so yeah, so I just tell what I know about fashion. Okay, I know men's fashion, but women's fashion, I don't know what the fuck the difference between Valentino and Barney's. And fucking, I know what cashmere is because I have a cashmere coat. But, anyway, this shit's beyond me, okay? So anyway, and don't even get me started on the shoes, okay? But anyway, okay, so she got her a cashmere scarf for her birthday. Happy birthday, Carrie, Carrie loves it, and it actually costs like $500. So she's like, can I just trade it in? Because I guess Carrie needs the money because, writing a sex column doesn't pay. She spends all of her money on fucking shoes and stuff, so... Yeah, so she wants to trade it in. It was $900. Sorry, $900 for the scarf. Who the fuck spends $900 on a fucking scarf? Okay, I mean I understand these women are rich. Okay, they're all rich on the show. Even Carrie's rich, even though she acts like she's poor. I mean just to live in that brownstone that she lives in. Okay, I lived in a big city. I'm from Chicago. Okay, an apartment like that in that neighborhood, minimum $3,000 a month. That's just to rent. Minimum $3,000 a month. Okay, and that was back in the '90s. Okay, Something like that would be around 5-6 grand a month today. All right, a little apartment like Carrie's, yes, 1 bedroom, yeah. Okay, I mean, I had a studio apartment in Chicago, and it was in a nice area, and that was like 1,500. Okay, that was back in the '90s, so, I mean, that was a studio, that was a fucking room with a bathroom, tiny little excuse for a kitchen, But anyway, so yeah, those are the days. Okay, but anyway, so they wake up her husband. Her husband gets all fucking pissed off. He comes out of the bedroom like, "What the fuck is going on? You guys are so fucking loud!" And like he's just screaming. Now I was in the Marines. Okay, I was in boot camp. Okay, I dealt with drill instructors. Okay, a lot. Okay, you ever seen Full Metal Jacket? Okay, I had to go through that shit. All right. And I don't remember my drill instructors being as much of an asshole as this guy is. Okay, I mean I'm sure they were. I just don't remember them being as bad as this guy was. Okay. So he's screaming at them for being there. We don't fucking have visitors after 9 p.m. I'm on fucking London time. I gotta get up in 3 hours. Shut the fuck up. Like he's screaming like this at his wife in front of Carrie. Like, what the fuck kind of guy is this? This guy's a total fucking asshole. Like, what the fuck? Who the fuck talks that way? Especially when you say that shit for like when there's no one around, when it's just you and your wife screaming at each other. But not when she's got a guest there. I mean, he's fucking embarrassed. Like I said, he's completely unaware of the fact that he's embarrassing his wife. I know he fucking hates his wife, but he's embarrassing her in front of her friend. I mean, that's just wrong. I don't give a fuck how much they're keeping you awake, or what time you got to get up in the morning. You don't fucking treat people that way, okay? If you're really fucking pissed off about it, wait till fucking Carrie leaves and then you fucking yell at your wife, okay? But don't do that in front of Carrie. I mean, that's just fucking all sorts of social wrong. Once again, this is how they're writing it. I'm pretty sure there are guys like this out there, but I'm trying to get this from like a logical point of view, a straight man's point of view. I've known guys like this out there, but they got a little bit more tact. Okay, they wouldn't necessarily do it, unless they're like drunk or something, or on drugs. Unless it's something like that, they normally wouldn't do that. Maybe back in the day they would have, like in the 70s or the 60s, where it was most socially acceptable to treat women like shit in public. But it's not like that anymore, and it definitely wasn't like that in the 90s. So. The fact that he's acting that way, I know guys that do act this way. I mean, I've gotten into some arguments with girlfriends too, but I never did it in front of other people. I always do it when it was just her and me, private. So anyway, so I just thought that was completely out of line that he embarrassed his wife like that. And of course, Susan's all pissed off and apologizing. Oh, God, I'm so sorry you had to see that. I'm embarrassed. I need to leave him. He's such an asshole. I don't know why I'm still with him. I think I should just break away from this abusive relationship. All that kind of shit that women say all the time. All right. So he basically tells him get the fuck out, and he says it like that too, So they leave. So Carrie leaves, and Carrie goes to talk to her girlfriends again. And one thing during this lunch scene that Carrie's having with her girlfriends, with Charlotte, Samantha, and Miranda, I can't get my eyes off of Miranda's head. Okay, she looks like she's wearing a fucking football helmet, dude. I mean, I swear to God, like the amount of hairspray that she has on and her fucking oval shaped fucking head. I mean, she looks like she could get in a motorcycle and be in a fucking legitimate motorcycle crash and her head would be fine. Okay, because all the fucking hairspray she's wearing would protect her fucking head from any sort of damage. Like, she looks like she could go through a fucking brick wall head first and suffer no injuries with all the fucking hairspray she's got on her head. I mean, she's got fucking enough hairspray in there to make fucking Keanu Reeves from The Matrix jealous. Okay, unfucking believable. And I just had to point that out because I could barely pay attention to what the fuck she was saying. I couldn't get my eyes off of her fucking head. Okay, like, I mean, yeah, my hair looks stiff too, but at least I can run my fingers through it, Not her. That shit looks like you need a fucking hammer and a chisel to get in there. But anyway, so I just had to point that out. You know how much I love Miranda anyway. Okay, so yeah, so they're there. They're all talking about it. Okay, and Miranda, Susan actually asked Carrie. She called her and to apologize, and she asked Carrie, "Should I leave him? Should I leave him?" So now it's Carrie's responsibility, whatever happens, right? Well, she tells her girlfriends that. She says, "Well, if you're not happy, life's too short. You should leave him. So now she's, "Oh, you're right. So now it's Carrie's fault. Whatever happens now is going to be Carrie's fault. Carrie told Susan to leave her husband. All right. Well, she tells her girlfriends that, and they're like, Miranda's like, "Don't ever tell a woman to leave. To leave her husband. Okay. Now she's going to blame you. Now you lost your cashmere connection. Like, who talks like that? Anyway, no more cashmere connection." And Samantha's like, "No, it's going to be your fault. They're going to blame you. If they stay together, it's going to be your fault because you told her to leave. And if she leaves, it's going to be your fault because now she's not with him anymore." So Samantha's always making good sense. Okay. Charlotte makes a point that, hey, you know what? If you're in a healthy relationship, you should be able to say anything to each other, okay? And of course, now he comes into Samantha's shit, okay? Samantha says you can't say anything to people, okay? Lies are lies and mutually accepted delusions is how we live our relationships. Lies and mutually accepted delusions. For example, I pretend that that my boyfriend James does not have a little penis, and he pretends not to notice that we haven't had sex in 3 weeks. Whoa. Yeah, I'd be picking up on that too, man. I'd be like, if I was Samantha, well, I've already talked to you about this guy James, okay? About what I think about his small penis and how their relationship should be going and how they should be treating each other, And the fact that it's gone on this long and Samantha has not said anything to him about it, like the guy knows he's got a small dick. Okay? I know he's acting like he doesn't, okay? But come on, there's just no way he could not know that. There's no way nobody ever pointed that out to him way before he ever met Samantha. So the fact that Samantha has been keeping this information from him is stupid. All he's got to do is look at himself, and he knows that he's fucking not packing. Like, what the fuck is Samantha all concerned about his feelings all of a sudden? Okay, she doesn't respect him. So I don't. So if she was in love with him, like at the end of season 1, she's definitely not anymore. So she doesn't respect him. So why is she still with him? Why is she in a relationship? The fact that Samantha is in a fucking relationship, that right there, they need to call Ripley on, okay? That's just not believable. She's not the kind of woman that gets in relationships, okay? She has one night stands and she fucks a lot of guys. That's what she does. That's what she likes to do. Okay, this whole relationship, thing is kind of weird for her. She would never trust anybody that far. She would never trust her feelings with anyone like that. She's not that kind of a person. So I don't understand why she's so sensitive about not hurting James's feelings. She's got no respect for him, so why should she show any feelings for him anymore? She's just telling the truth. Hey, listen, you got a small dick. How's it gone on this long? Okay, this is all left over from season 1. How the fuck is it still going on this long? And he still doesn't know, and she's still having this problem. This shit should have been resolved in the first episode that we saw him. That should have been the little dick episode. They shouldn't have dragged it across 2 seasons. I know why they did it. Okay, they did it because they wanted you to watch season 2. And what a way to fucking leave a cliffhanger. First of all, you got Big and Carrie just broke up. What's going to happen with that? And number 2, Samantha's stuck with a guy with a little penis. How the fuck is she going to handle that, I mean, this is the way you get them to tune into season 2. This is how you order another season for HBO. That's what they did. So I know why they did it, okay? But it just doesn't make sense that this joke would last this long. Here we are, second episode of the second season, and it's still not resolved. Okay, the little dick is still not resolved. It's like, come on, this is just like, dude, just tell me he's got a fucking little dick and let's get it over with. I mean, God, I can only imagine the actor that's playing this guy, dude. He probably never worked again. This is probably the most famous role. If any of you have seen this guy before, I don't even know his name. I didn't pay attention, but if any of you have seen this guy before, is he doing anything else? Has he acted in anything else? I don't know. All right, so Miranda starts talking about she's seeing some guy. I forgot his name. They call him the spring roll guy. Where the fuck the spring roll guy? That's like his nickname throughout the episode, spring roll guy. And apparently his fetish is, because all the straight guys have a fetish. In case you haven't noticed that now, every single straight guy in every fucking episode has something weird, some sort of sexual kink that's kind of out there that they're going to base a whole episode on, okay? Every single guy, because women don't have sexual kinks, okay? It's just the guys that have that shit, okay? And this episode, the guy likes it when to talk dirty during sex, okay? Apparently he never runs out of things to say during sex, okay? And I was watching this atrocious scene here, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this, okay? I've watched porn where they didn't talk this much, okay? This is like, no, this has never happened to me. Not like this, okay? And I doubt it's happened to too many people, but it's just ridiculous, okay? He's basically providing a play-by-play of sex while he's having sex. It's just stupid, okay? Oh, you like this? Do you like it when I touch your breasts, okay? And now you like it when I touch your nipples, okay? And now I'm gonna kiss your neck. Oh, you taste so good. Your ear, I'm gonna nibble in your ear a little bit. It's great. Now I want you to grab my now put your hand on my cock. Yes, okay. Now play with it. What do you think? Huh? Is it big enough? Is it big enough for you? Okay, now you're stroking it up and down. Oh, like what the fuck is this shit? This is like fucking what is like? This is like a sex for like the blind or something. Like an audio book of sex? Like, this is stupid. Neither one of them's blind. Like, they see what the fuck they're doing. Like, this is dumb. The fact this guy like has this, like, he likes to talk during sex. Like, just shut the fuck up. And Miranda, of course, doesn't know what to say. He's asking her questions while they're doing it, and she doesn't know what to say because she's not comfortable talking during sex. Like, she's never done that before, you know. Other than I'm coming, that kind of shit. She's never really had conversations during sex. She's not comfortable doing it. And he's like asking her questions while they're trying to do it. Like, this is dumb. This is still, people don't act this way. Maybe they do. I don't know. Maybe I'm not kinky enough. Okay. Yeah, I've said a few words during sex, but okay, I sure as fuck didn't go into a play-by-play graphic description in real time of what I'm doing. That's just stupid. Who the fuck does that? I'll just tape it. I don't have to fucking describe it. I'll just tape it. I'm not gonna look at it again. With consent, of course. Okay. So anyway, yeah. So of course Charlotte's like, it's easy. Just tell him he's got a big cock and stuff. Tell him, say the typical three things, which is big cock. Yeah, that's right. Don't stop. Just the typical things. And of course Miranda's not having none of it. Because she's just not comfortable. Oh well, I wouldn't be comfortable having sex with Miranda either. I mean, just fucking a bitch, and she just lays there too. That's what's fucked up, man. Every time they show Miranda having sex, she just lays there. Like, what the fuck? I don't have sex with you like that. You fucking crazy? You gotta spicing things up, man. Samantha needs to teach Miranda how to have sex. Okay, so anyway, so Carrie's on her necklace again. She's wearing her Carrie necklace again, which I noticed it on And Just Like That, but I don't remember seeing it before until now on the original show. So, but she's wearing it, and like I said, they go into the thesis, which I already say. Are there still certain things in a relationship that one shouldn't say? Okay, and they go back to the first person POV questions again, which really pissed me off. I'm tired of it. Like, who the fuck goes up to people when they're in the middle of their routine and asks them stupid questions like that? Like, she goes up to a fireman. The fireman tells her, "Oh yeah, my wife's had her tits done twice. They look great, but they feel like shit. I keep that to myself." Another one complains like, "Oh, my best friend, she's marrying this guy's a total fucking loser. And how do I tell her that? I can't. She's marrying an imbecile. How am I supposed to tell her that? I can't." And then another woman, she's like, "I'm 38 years old and I'm still single. Do you really fucking think I want to hear the truth?" I thought that was funny. Okay, so anyway, so Susan decides that she's leaving Richard. She tells Carrie that. They're out shopping again. And then she says that Richard got mad at her when she told him that she was leaving. He's like, "I'll be remarried within a year and you're still going to be single." And Carrie actually admits this, like, not during her voiceover, she admits this, that's actually true. That's actually pretty realistic, that her husband would be remarried by then, and that Susan would still be single and alone. And yeah, you know what? I got to agree with Carrie there. Yes. Susan, she seems like a nice enough person, but she's not really dating material. Not for me anyway. She doesn't do it for me. She's a little overweight. She's older. I think I'm older than she is right now, than she was back then. But she just talks too much. She's got that Jewish accent, that Jewish New York accent, where they always enunciate their syllables in just weird ways. Not as bad as like say Fran Drescher, who's got it really bad, but kind of more like a Barbara Streisand, type thing. That Jewish accent, New York accent they have, the Woody Allen type thing. She's got that. Okay. And every time she talks, it feels like someone's grinding, like chalk, like fingernails across a chalkboard. That's what it feels like every time she's talking. And I know that sounds really bad. It is really bad for me to say that, but that's the best. That's the best metaphor I can come up with for what her voice sounds like. Because she talks all the fucking time. She doesn't shut up. And to make it worse, she talks about the same thing over and over again. Should I have left Rick? You think I should go back to him? Huh? You think I did the right thing by leaving him? She's always talking about the same fucking thing. She's always talking about this Rick, her husband. Always. That's all she ever talks about. Is Rick this, Rick that. The guy that treats her like total shit. All she does is talk about how, about him. And just like we've all been through this, okay? I think I might have told you before about the story about a girl whose boyfriend just treated her like total fucking shit. And she was gorgeous. After a while, I just got tired of hearing that. I just told her, hey, I already told you what to do. Just shut up. Okay? I'm tired of hearing it. You're a beautiful woman. You don't deserve anyone to be treating you this way, but you put up with it, and then you cry to everyone about it, but you don't do anything about it. So what the fuck? I'm tired of talking to you about it, The ball's in your court. Whatever happens, it's your responsibility. Okay, so I'm kind of getting that vibe with this Susan woman. I mean, I feel bad that she's with an asshole, but at the same time, I mean, she chose to be with him. I mean, what does that say about her? You know, um, so yeah, so she's okay. She will stay alone forever. Charlotte gets a dog named Henry. He's a little fucking little dog who's a big pain in the ass. She loves him at first, and the dog starts being a fucking asshole. All right, so now we go to Samantha and her boyfriend James with the little tiny penis. Okay, and they start talking about how wonderful they are and this and that, and he's like, "Is there something wrong? We haven't been intimate." And she's like, "Oh, I'm just not in the mood. Maybe we should go see a couples counselor." And Samantha's just like, okay. Samantha doesn't talk about her feelings. Okay, she has no feelings. Okay. And I applaud her for that because I'm kind of the same way too. I got there's more interesting things to talk about than my feelings. Okay, okay. I mean, if I have to, I'll go there. But for the most part, my feelings don't need any sort of an assessment. They don't need any sort of validation. They don't need any sort of double take. You know, it's just, like my feelings aren't as important as people think they are. I know I'm pissing off a lot of people by saying that feelings are not as important, most important thing in the world. Okay, or not your feelings. Okay, the things that actually happen is what's important. Okay, how you deal with it, that's all subjective. Okay, so okay, so yeah, it's wonderful. So they decide to go see a counselor. Okay. And of course, Samantha's horny and she's missing having sex with all these different guys, and now she can't because she's with little fucking tiny dick boyfriend. All right, so moving right along, spring roll guy again, the guy that talks during sex. He won't shut up. He's fucking Miranda. He will not shut up. Okay, and he's like, you like it when my hand touches your breast, huh? And now you're pinching my nipples. Like he's talking about like what Miranda's doing to him. Like he's narrating it. Like this is fucking weird. It's just fucking weird, man. Yes. Now put your hand on my. Oh, now you're getting me hard. Oh God, yes, you're getting me hard now. It's just like, dude, shut the fuck up, dude. This is way too much talking. Way too much talking. I don't need to hear this shit. All right. And Miranda's like, big hard cock. You have a big hard sausage. Big hard sausage. Like she's just like making it up as she goes along. And he's like, oh yes, that's right, it is big. Oh yeah, and now I'm gonna come. And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up, man. This is not turning anybody on. I don't think. I mean, this is the kind of shit that I just want to like fast forward past this stuff. I don't want to hear this shit. It's bad, man. Anyway, okay, so back to Charlotte and that subplot with the dog. The dog, his name's Henry, sucks. Doesn't do what she says. Won't kneel. Won't catch the ball. Won't do anything. Just a little asshole. Susan's there to meet the dog with Carrie, of course, and of course all she's done is talking about is Rich, her husband, that's an asshole. Okay, the dog actually almost bites her when I think she asked the dog about should I leave my husband. The dog like snaps at her. Okay, so she's always asking should she have left? I got to wait for a call. I need to check my phone to make sure he calls me. That way I can reject his call when he calls. And just stupid shit like just shut the fuck up already. With that Jewish fucking accent too, just like oh God, come on, okay. Well, surprise, Big sent Carrie a box full of roses for her birthday. Like I said, her birthday's coming up. So she's all excited about it. She decides that she wants to thank him. She has not spoken to Big since she ran into him at the bar in the last episode. So she decides to call him to thank him for the roses, but we all know why she's really calling him. All right. Meanwhile, Charlotte brings the dog to lunch, to the four women having lunch, and the dog just being an asshole trying to eat her purse. They're trying to talk about the shit, and the dog is just like there at the table doing all sorts of crazy shit. So Charlotte just ends up leaving with the dog because the dog's embarrassing her. I think Carrie says something like, "Oh well, now you loved your dog so much in the beginning. Now you're starting to see the real Henry, the real dog now starting to come out, and you're not liking the dog as much anymore. Which obviously is a metaphor for what's going on in this episode. I want her to get rid of flowers. She tells the girls that the Big sent her flowers, and of course the girls are all like, "No, get rid of the flowers. Don't keep them." Charlotte's the only one that's like, "Yeah, keep the flowers. You know, that's a good gesture." But the other girls, Miranda and Samantha, like, "Get rid of those fucking flowers. You don't need that shit. You know, it's just gonna bring up stuff that you don't need. You know, it's disgusting, and it's just this stupid typical stuff." Okay, so anyway, like I said, Carrie calls Big. He tells her that his secretary sent the flowers, but it was on his orders. He told his secretary to send the flowers. Okay, so it was him that did it, but um, she asked him out because he asked her, "So what are you gonna do on your birthday?" And she's like, "Oh, Stanford's having a party for me at this Moroccan restaurant. You want to come?" And then she realized that she just asked him out to come. Okay, and he's like, "Oh, I got plans already." And she's like, "Oh, well then don't come. It's fine. You don't have to be there." And he's like, "Well, I might not be alone. I might stop by, but I might not be alone." She's like, "Okay, well, whatever. Just come on if you want to. You don't have to." And she hangs up on him, right? So now she's stressing out. Now we're in fucking Carrie anxiety mode, which is the normal temperature for this show. Carrie's always like, "Oh, God." Typical Carrie. Oh my God, I just asked my ex-boyfriend to my birthday party. Of course, it's the end of the world because everything's the end of the world for Carrie, as usual. Okay, so she's stressing out all crazy about it. And she wonders, well, what's this girl going to look like the Big's going to bring, his date or whatever. All right, so now back to the Samantha and James subplot with his tiny little penis. So they go see a counselor. This old lady with some weird name, I don't remember it. Okay, and they haven't had sex in a month. Okay, and Samantha says like, "Well, I'm just not feeling sexual," and and James like, "Not feeling sexual, but I just caught you masturbating the other day." she's like, and James tells her, "You have a problem with intimacy." And then he says, "You can talk to me. It's okay. I'm here. Nothing you say can hurt me." And then all of a sudden the time is up. Okay. So the counselor says, "Okay, time's up. We'll meet next week at the same time." And then Samantha's like, the thought of seeing this fucking counselor again to talk about this shit, just like she cannot deal with it. So this is exactly what Samantha needed to give her the big kick in the ass to tell him what the problem is. Okay, and she just screams at us, "You have a little penis." She says, "Your penis is too small." He's like, "What? What are you talking about? It's huge." Like, he's completely unaware, like he's blindsided. Like no one has ever told him that before. What are you, a fucking virgin? Really? Even if you were a virgin, someone's seen your junk before, okay? Someone in your life has told you had a small penis. It could have even been your mom. I don't fucking know, all right? But somebody told you had a small penis. Okay? I don't believe this fucking shit that at your age, you're just now figuring this out. You're just now realizing this. I call raise a bullshit flag on that right there. Okay? And he's like, "Well, did you ever consider that maybe your vagina's just too big?" And then he walks out of there all pissed off, She's like, it can't, I can't, Hey, you know what? She's got her standards and more power to her. That's what she wants. If that's a deal breaker, if a big cock is a deal breaker for her, then yeah, absolutely, that's what she needs to go for, But just remember, ladies, if your standards are high, you're going to face a lot of competition. Okay, because guess what? You're not the first woman that thought of that either. Okay, you're not the only woman that wants that too. Okay, so if you're all going for the same guy, you're gonna have to compete with other women for a very small percentage of guys. Okay, you want the big cocks don't fall off trees. Okay, if that's what you want. Not too many guys are really big. Most guys are average, and some are below average. Okay, so you're gonna have to play that numbers game. All right, that's the only way you're gonna know for sure. Okay. And if you do happen to get lucky enough to land a guy like that, you're more than likely gonna have to share him. Okay, you're gonna have to share him because that's the guy that all the other women want. All right, so I don't know how else to tell you that. It's not fair. Of course, it's not fair. But I mean that's just life. I don't know. I wish it wasn't that way, but it is. All right, so there's that going on here. He storms out of there, and she starts screaming like, "I need a big dick! I need a big dick! I want a big dick!" And the counselor, "Hey, I hear you, sister. I hear you. You're preaching to the choir." Now Samantha feels better because she finally let it out. She's not hiding it anymore, okay? Her boyfriend's dick is too small. And she told him now. Now she finally told him. So we're probably not going to see him again. Okay. Meanwhile, back to Miranda. Miranda's trying to talk dirty. She's kind of getting into it now. Like he's been like this guy. What the fuck his name is? Um, what the fuck was his name again? Yeah, Spring Roll guy. She's talking to him, and he's been kind of like teaching her to get more comfortable talking dirty. So she's starting to say some dirty things now. Like, oh yeah, I like. He's like, okay, what else do you like doing to me? She's like, I like touching your hair. I like playing with your nipples. What else do you like to do? What else do you like to do? You like to touch my car? Yeah, and I like to kiss your balls. He goes, oh yeah, you do like to kiss my balls, don't you? He's like, yeah, you know what? And I like to stick my fucking finger up your ass. He's just like, huh? Like, dude, man, fucking Jack Murphy right there. Now he's all freaked out, like, what the fuck? Why would you say something like that? You fucking weirdo, get away from me. Hey, you know what? Without getting too personal, yeah, I wouldn't want anything up my ass. That's like a one-way street. I know there's girls out there that like to do that stuff, okay? I've heard stories, okay? I've even had a few situations, okay, which I'm not going to get into here, okay? Where, I've managed to, there's a reason I took, martial arts, okay? But, I'm sorry, that's a one-way street. At least for me it is. That's a one-way street. Ain't nothing going up in there, right? And I know, hey, and you women out there, a lot of you are freaks about this shit. You really are. Like I can understand like gay guys, like that's a fantasy for them, and it is, okay. But I had no idea that so many women thought it was cool to fucking do that to their boyfriends, man. To Jack Murphy, I'm like that, and I'm just like, no, dude. Maybe some guy. If my guy friends, okay, if they ever had that done to them and they liked it, they sure as fucking gonna tell me about it, right? Ain't that the fucking truth? So yeah, that's just some freaky deaky shit. I don't know why girls do that, because I mean, do they get off on that? Ladies, do you get off on that? Really? What are you getting out of it? Okay, other than having to fucking wash your hands afterwards, and maybe some fucking hepatitis. Okay, what else are you getting out of it? All right? Yeah, I don't get it either. All right. Maybe I'm just not freaky enough, or but I don't know. I'm from this generation, from the show's generation, so I don't get it. I don't get it. All right, whatever. So he's so freaked. They're like, what the fuck would you say something like that? Like, out of all the fucking shit that he said, this is the one that he's fucking flipping out over, I was like, nah, I don't buy that at all, And Miranda I can totally see Miranda doing that. I think if Miranda had a dick, she'd be the one fucking the guy, okay? Not the other way around, because that's just the way she is, go figure. Yeah. So I'm kind of glad we never see him again. And she talks to the girls about it. Like, oh, all guys like it up the ass. They just don't want to say anything. That's what Samantha says. Well, maybe the guys that you fuck probably do, because Samantha will do anything in bed. I'm sure she'd fucking have animals in there. But no, it's not true. At least not for me. It's not true. And like I said, this is the kind of thing that if a guy really does like it, they're not going to tell another guy that, right? They're not going to tell the straight guy that, right? So maybe guys, maybe I'm just not in the club. Maybe I'm the odd man out because I don't like that. I think it's gross. But who knows, man? Everyone's got their own thing. Okay, so and I think it's funny because they're talking about this at Carrie's birthday party at the Moroccan restaurant. And Stanford is there, and he actually says, like, I don't like anything up my ass. And the gay guy says this. And of course, all the girls are doing what I'm doing right now, just laughing about it. Gay guy says he doesn't like it up his ass. Yeah, I know, right? Where are we going with this, man? This is a weird episode. Okay, so anyway, Big shows up. He shows up at the birthday party with his date, who's actually a guy. And no, he's not gay. It's the same guy. We've already seen him before. His name's Jack. This was the guy that when Carrie and Big in the first season, when they were supposed to have their first official date, he ended up bringing this guy with him because that was one of his best friends. He was going through a divorce, if you remember, and so he was like the third wheel. And so Carrie got pissed off, and she just left him at the restaurant with that guy, and she went over to go fuck Timothy Olyphant. Remember, that was the 20-something episode, where everyone's talking about fucking guys in their 20s. Remember that? Okay, well that's the last time we saw that guy. So he's there again. He's Big's friend. He's still being fucking a jaded asshole. I guess his wife took him for a lot of money in the divorce, so he's there. Okay, and they're all there talking and stuff, and Big's there getting lap dances from all these Moroccan, Arabian themed women, and he's putting money in their thing. Okay, Carrie's getting all jealous, and Susan's there too, and she's trying to flirt with this guy Jack, and she's using that Jewish voice of hers. Should I do this? And finally, he tells her what I've been saying the whole fucking time. He just looks at her and says like, "Excuse me, Susan, do you ever just shut the fuck up?" And she's like, exactly. Thank God. Yes, one for our side. Yes, he said it. All right. So, okay, I guess she talks too much. Okay, so Henry the dog finally, when Charlotte gets home, he tore up her apartment. Her bed sheets are all fucking feathers everywhere. He shit all over her apartment. He pissed everywhere. He just tore up. So she finally just got rid of the fucking dog. I'm tired of your fucking ass, So she gets rid of the dog and she gives it to Susan. And Susan brings the dog home to Rich, and they end up getting back together. So she's not leaving him anymore. And instead of them yelling at each other, instead of him yelling at her, he just yells at the dog now. Okay, but she gets back with her husband, Rich, the asshole. Yeah, that's how that works out. Happy ending, okay? So happy, in fact, that we're never going to see either one of them ever again. Ever again. Like I said, Carrie knows everybody, but she don't know anybody. All right, so that kind of concludes that subplot. Big and Carrie, after the birthday party, they start walking together in the street. Like every episode, Carrie's there all walking slowly with some guy, parallel to each other on the sidewalk, having a conversation at night, about stupid shit. This happens every episode. So now she's talking to Big, and what is he gets to put? She's married. Okay, they talk. Okay, all that really happens is they end up saying goodnight to each other. He offers to, hey, do you need some money to get home and get you a cab? She's like, no, it's okay. He's like, good, because I spent all my money on those strippers in there. She's like, well, good night. And he's like, okay, good night. And he gets in the limo and he goes away. And she turns around, she's just walking back to her apartment. And then her voiceover says, the one thing she could not say was, I'm still not over you. And that's how the episode ends. That's a good way to end an episode. It's very, very touching. I think that this was one of those episodes that really won a lot of people over. It definitely invested me more into Carrie. I started caring more about her feelings and about what she's going through. I'm starting to see, I'm starting to understand that all these circumstances that happen to her throughout the course of the show, this is the underlying subtext is her feelings for Big. They're not being reciprocated. That she's still pining over a guy, even though she's trying really hard to distract herself to do other things, deep down inside, she still misses this guy. She still, wants to be with him, but she's having a conflict between her emotions and her logic, which is weird because usually women don't have a conflict with their emotions or logic. Okay. Usually they go with their emotions, and it sounds like an asshole, but it's true. It's true. But she's actually fighting it, which is good for her. It was one of the reasons I'm rooting for her is she's actually trying to let her rational mind control her actions rather than letting her emotional heart control all of her actions, because, one is smart and one is dumb and vice versa. You can make big mistakes with your life by obeying one and not obeying the other, So that's kind of the comp she's going through, but I'm rooting for her and I want things to get better, all right? So this has been episode 2 of Sex and the City, season 2, the original show. And I will be back with another review for episode 3 soon. All right. Thank you for watching.